This video will show you how to replace the carburetor in your Champion open frame inverter. Make sure the engine is completely cool and always disconnect the battery and the spark plug cap when working on your unit. Before beginning, turn the fuel valve off. Locate the fuel drain bolt at the bottom of the carburetor and remove it to drain the fuel from the carburetor and wipe up any spilled fuel. Step 1. Unclip and remove the air cleaner cover, followed by the plastic insert. Use a 10mm socket to remove the two nuts inside the air cleaner, and use an 8mm socket to remove the rear support bolt. Then detach the fuel vent line and breather tube to remove the air cleaner housing and gasket. Step 2. Locate the fuel line and use a pair of pliers to loosen the hose clip and detach the fuel line from the carburetor. Remove the 4 bolts holding on the top front panel with an 8mm socket, and then use a 10mm socket to remove the 4 bolts in the corner of the fuel tank and detach the fuel vent line from the top of the fuel tank. Then lift the fuel tank out of the way to access the carburetor. Step 3. With a permanent marker, make a mark on the choke wire where it meets the cable wire clamp. Then use a Phillips screwdriver to loosen the cable wire clamp, followed by the choke cable clamp screw, and remove the choke cable. Step 4. On the control unit, locate the wire connector that feeds back to the carburetor and disconnect it. Then behind the panel, locate the group of wires and cut any cable ties. Locate the 2 green wire connectors and disconnect them. Loosen any wire clamps to free the wires, and then remove the old carburetor and any old gaskets. Step 5. Always replace all gaskets in the correct orientation and slide the new carburetor onto the studs. Then feed the choke wire back and align it with the mark you made. Tighten the cable wire clamp and the choke cable clamp screw. Now you can reassemble your unit. Feed the wires back through the unit, reconnect the 2 green wire connectors and the control panel wire connector, and fasten any wire clips. Set the fuel tank back in place and tighten the 4 bolts with a 10mm socket. Then replace the front panel and tighten the 4 bolts with an 8mm socket. Replace the fuel vent line, then replace the fuel line and secure the hose clip. Replace all gaskets and set the air cleaner housing in place. Then replace the rear support bolt. Replace the 2 air cleaner nuts, followed by the plastic insert, then replace the air cleaner cover, breather tube, and fuel vent line, and lastly, reconnect the battery and replace the spark plug cap. Your carburetor replacement is complete. Always follow the safety guidelines in your operator's manual, and for more help guides, visit the Champion Help Center at help.championpowerequipment.com.